For the 2022 financial year, the Electoral Commission's budget estimates amount to over 181 million Ghana cedis. During the consideration of the estimates, the issue about the creation of the Guan constituency after the carving out of a district for residents of the enclave took center stage. The Speaker demanded a clear roadmap from the Commission on plans to ensure that people in that constituency are represented in Parliament.
That is, if it is created, it will be a new constituency. Because you are also dissatisfied with the explanation. That is why you have these paragraphs in your report. You stated that the committee is, however, dissatisfied that the Commission is unable to provide the exact date for the conduct of elections in the constituency. This implies that the people of Guan district will continue to be denied their fundamental rights of representation as enshrined in the 1992 Constitution, and the critical resources for development, especially in the allocation of MP share of territory funds, as long as the infringement of their rights persists. That's the same thing I'm talking about. And so, clearly, if they come to 9.6 to say they are not going to create any new constituency, the implication from the law you read is that they are not going to create the Guan constituency. You can't reconcile the two by saying, oh, they are going to create the Guan constituency, but oh, for 2024 elections, we are not going to create any new constituency. Meanwhile, even if you create the Guan constituency today, it will take effect when? 2024.
Before that, there was a near clash between the majority leader and the Speaker over the matter at hand.
And when you have done so, then it will be left to the Constitution to dictate when the election will be held. I mean, it's not going to be a by-election. It's not going to be a by-election. Majority leader, we are not talking about election. We are talking about creation of constituency. I know about the elections. It's not going to be a by-election. The language you have used. Yes, you cannot say it's not going to be a by-election, as if I don't know the difference between by-election and general election. Oh. I know the differences between a general election and a by-election. I know when an instrument is laid in the house, what happens? I know. But I'm saying, from your report, it is not clear when the constituency will be created.
Earlier, the National Security Minister, Albert Kandapa, answered questions on the cost of presidential trips. In his response to the question from North Tongue MP Samuel Ekujeto Ablakwa, Albert Kandapa stated that the cost of presidential trips cannot be disclosed due to national security considerations.
Mr. Speaker, recent official travels to France, to Belgium, and South Africa by His Excellency the President are paid for out of the operational funds of the Ministry of National Security. Mr. Speaker, payments out of the Ministry's operational funds are clothed with rules of confidentiality and state secrecy, and it is not the general practice in the intelligence community here and elsewhere to make the suggested disclosures public. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The cost per hour of the UK royal family, which is about £4,800. So, Mr. Speaker, how does the Honourable Minister reconcile? In other jurisdictions, they have moved to greater transparency, and these matters are known by members of the House of Commons or members of Congress and citizens generally. So why is it that we are departing from this practice and the Honourable Minister says that it cannot be disclosed?
Mr. Speaker, I must confirm that by convention and for good public policy considerations, the utilization of operational funds are not subject to the oversight of any institution and are normally not disclosed. If it is disclosed in other jurisdictions, it may be because they are not paid out of operational funds. I'm talking about payments out of operational funds, and I don't believe there are disclosures anywhere. The costs that you are asking for were paid out of operational funds, and that is what makes it difficult for me to give you the details.
MP for Doma East, Paul Aprekuchumberma, also asked a similar question on the cost of presidential travels from 2013 to 2016. The minister gave him a similar answer. He is, however, considering taking the matter to court for an order to compel the minister to release the cost details of presidential travels by chartered flight from 2013 to 2016.
I think it's important that as a country we get to the point where we should be able to access certain information, especially when the right information bill has been passed. And therefore, as a Ghanaian, as a taxpayer, you need to know how certain things are being done. And therefore, if, yes, it gets to the point that I have to test the law, I will not hesitate in doing that.
As the House prepares to rise for the Christmas break, it is unclear if the Finance Committee is still considering the electronic transfer levy, despite the referral of the bill to the committee after it was laid in Parliament on Thursday.